Okay, starting over here, I'm doing an inbox review of this kit here. This is the Hasegawa 1/32nd scale A4F Skyhawk that the Blue Angels used to use. They of course using the F-18 now, and there is a rumor that they will be not using nothing soon because they're not quite getting the funding they need to continue. But this is the one they used up until the 80s, mid 80s, when they switched to the F-18. And they used several planes all the way going back. They've been a team for quite a while. Originally propeller driven. If you look at the history in Blue Angels, it's amazing stuff. But I'm gonna do a inbox review on this kit because it is, believe it or not, it's on deck. I've never built an airplane kit as an adult. I built some as a kid, the ones where you build the whole thing in one day, and very, very, very bad results, of course. And from what I see is that the car builders have trouble with airplanes for some reason, so I've been scared. This is expensive kit. I got this, and this is from 2004, and I got it in 2004, and I think it's discontinued now. And it seems as though wouldn't be a problem to build it, but I see bad results from everybody who builds cars, even builds them really well, has bad luck with airplanes. So this is going to be the big test. So anyway, let me get into this box. Now what I've done is I have I've just sliced open the bags because that's impossible to do with one hand. And there's the instruction sheet, and it goes on and on and on and on. But I suppose this should show some kind of an example of how that's set up. Airplanes a little bit different than cars. They like to do these big exploded diagrams. And there's a lot to it. It's a real good kit. It looks like some things move. I haven't looked at the kit really well before starting to film, so I might discover some things while we're doing this. And the decal sheet is pretty good from what I can see here at an angle. If I can, anyway, I'm seeing it to the eye right there. Yeah, it looks as though these decals are still in really good shape, but certainly be testing, since there's so many versions of the plane that you can build. You have a lot of decals that you can use as just test decals, and so I'll be able to test to see if these decals are still working real good before I even start. But great looking decal sheet. Now, okay, so let me open up this first bag. Just gonna slide it out. Now, being 1/32nd scale is a big scale for airplanes. They're usually 1/72nd scale to 1/48 scale. And once you start getting into 1/32nd scale, you're talking about a pretty big model. This is about, I don't know, foot and a half, 18 inches, 16 inches, something like that. But they can really get down there on detail when they are doing it in this scale. As you can see, all those rivets. And there's always, with airplanes, there is an argument about raised panel lines or recessed panel lines. And boy, I have my glasses on and everything, and I can't tell. What is that? Is that raised or recessed? I don't know, and it really wouldn't matter to me. I'm not an expert. Let's look here. I don't know, is that raised? It looks raised, so I think that expert model builders would hate this kit for some reason, because it's raised. They're supposed to be recessed. And there's people that will painstakingly go through there, file them down, and then recess them with a scribe. But any representation of the panel is fine with me. Anyway, I better speed things up. I'm just going to kind of go through this quick. Of course, all the armament are dummy armament on a show plane, so these are not real missiles. Let me just kind of start going through these. Oh yeah, now right here, looking at the box, if you look at the shade of blue on the plane, and then you look at the actual parts, I was right off the bat, I was like, oh no, it's way too dark. But then I pulled out this model here, and you can see that they are pretty close, if not exactly right. My goal is to not paint this, and just put the decals on and then clear coat it, and that should actually make that plastic a bit darker, so it's going to be I think, close enough to the correct dark blue. And okay, here's the other fuselage half and other part of the fake armament. And I think there will be a seam, but it's all right. All right, let me slide this one out. Now that big, well, it looks like a big missile. I think that's a gas tank or a spare fuel tank for long range. So, but who knows on a show plane. Alright, so let's look at that. Oh, I flipped it over and I shouldn't have. This is the bottom of the whole thing, and I believe the landing gear starts to go into there. And the surface a little rough. Almost like it's got a little bit of, you see that? I don't know why. Almost like it was sanded. But these bags were sealed. It was, Anyway, clear coat will help that out. I see the cutouts here for the ailerons and flaps. So I don't know, maybe there's a chance they're going to be movable or posable or what have you with enough work. Yeah, this thing has been through, I think probably in shipping, this thing has been knocked around a lot. Look at this. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some, look at all this. It's been dancing around on the parts. Curious, that's depressing. So I'm going to have to go in there with, I don't know how I'm going to do anything there. Because you start sanding that, you start sanding all your detail off. And that is the top of the wing. Very, 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 very visible. They have failed there. They needed to put a piece of foam in between this piece and the rest of the pieces, because this piece and all these pieces were in the same bag, and I guess this was face down and rubbing on the parts. So for an expensive kit from a very good company, that's a bad mark right there. That's that wasn't thinking. Alright, so I'm watching my time. I don't like to go on and on and on and on. I guess I'll just kind of pan across these parts. The size of the wheels on these, because of the scale. My fingers there. That looks like landing gear strut. This is going to be the speed brake, I think. It's on the back of the plane, sticks up to slow it down when you need to slow down. Oh, there's cockpit detail. So, looking pretty good. You have to get out your microscope and your toothpick and try to paint some of those dials and switches. But well represented. When we get down to this last one, we've got some more fake armament, fuel pods, or who knows what they're calling them, big intake for the belly, and some nice pilots. And pretty good, decent detail. It's not going to be the best kit in the world. It's funny, I had it sitting there for 9 years. I think this kit was about $40. Maybe it was more. But all these years thinking I had bought like one of those super pristine kits, like a Tamiya kit in 1/32, or I don't know about Trumpeter. I don't know, I don't have a whole lot of airplanes at all. I have maybe 5 airplanes, and have never built one. So I don't know the quality of the individual makers, but Hasegawa here, just by looking at this one, I'll say detail's quite good. Molding is pretty good. Let me hold the fuselage straight out to see if it is straight. Pretty important. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. Something I'm running into on the big space shuttle kit is that the nose doesn't match up, and so I'm going to have to do something interesting. Now this is interesting. There's a gap there. Like you can... Interesting. Like you can pose that, or... Anyway, I'm sorry to be just generally just showing around this kit, because I don't know airplane kits that well. I know airplanes pretty good because I'm a flight sim enthusiast, but I'm not sure what they are going for here on the tail, the rudder. Anyway, I guess that's about it. I know that now Fast Freddy is doing an amazing build on an Eagle, and somebody else is about to do an airplane. I don't want to give it away, and so I was inspired to take a look at this anyway, especially with with the problem on the top of the wing. I'm even less inclined to jump into this, but we'll see. Some very, very light sanding with some very, very fine sandpaper, and I might have a chance. So I'll start to dabble with this kit a little bit, but more than anything for right now, I just wanted to share it. Looks to be pretty good. I'm going to give it, about 4 out of 5 stars. I was hoping it was a 5 out of 5, but a little disappointing. I mean, come on, you manufacturers, how much does it cost to put a sheet of foam in between the most important parts? I mean, just enough is enough. I mean, good grief. One piece of foam would have saved that. Anyway, that's it for today. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.